Well, hello there pluckers, I've a sore finger again with you. Thanks indeed for joining me for another guitar lesson. This one is in response to one of my viewers writing in asking for some help with a song called Spanish Bombs by The Clash. Okay, I am in standard tuning, but I do have a capo on the 2nd fret. Puts us into the same key that Clash originally recorded the song in, I believe. Okay, so without more to do, I am going to go through the intro, the first verse and the first chorus for you, break that down, show you exactly how I played it, and you should be good to go. Okay, so let's get to it. Here we go. Into another verse. Okay, so there you have it. It's quite a straightforward song, this. Okay, so the introduction basically starts strumming on a G, and then we play an E minor added ninth, so E minor chord, pinky going on to the 2nd fret of the top E string, the first string. Okay, okay, so it's back to the G, so it's a bit of a quick change. Okay, so A minor to C minor, 3rd fret bar chord from the capo, 3rd fret, minor shape bar chord. Okay, so G, E minor 9th, back to the G, A minor, C minor. Repeat. Then we're into the verse. Okay, got that? So that try and emphasise that, because that's the what's going on with the 2nd guitar. It's emphasising the lead bit. Okay, so. Probably noticed on the intro I did something a little bit different. The first time round on that I went G, just a little bit of as it's a sort of Spanish thing. I thought to try and fit in a little Spanish lick, okay, ish, okay, and all that is basically a build up. 5th string open, A string, 5th string, 2nd fret on the A string or the 5th string to the 3rd fret, open 4th string, 1st fret 4th string, 3rd fret 4th string to D string. Okay, so far open 3rd string, G string, then 2nd fret 3rd string, and that's it. That's right. And then we go back to the G. So instead of going to the C minor the first time, G, G. So what I was doing slowly was this. Now the C minor the 2nd time, and into the verse. Okay, so it's an optional extra. You don't have to do that. If you don't want to play that run, just play the C minor, A minor to C minor. Okay, so yeah, so an option for you there. Right, so the verse itself very simple. G, E minor, to B minor, to A minor, to C minor. So so that's the bit that goes, and just to remind myself of the singing. That's right, so spin the songs in do the da 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 da. G, da 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 da, E minor, da da da, B minor, second fret bar chord, minor shape, A minor, da 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 da, C minor, da 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 da, and it does that 4 times. Okay, that whole sequence. G, da da da, E minor to B minor, A minor to C minor, 4 times. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do now, we'll just do the intro and 4 of those. Okay. So here we go. Here comes the verse. Last time. Now we go into the chorus, okay? Spanish bombs, and then I'm afraid it goes into Spanish. I can't pronounce that. So, right. So that's the chorus is G, E minor to B minor, E minor to B minor to F. Does that twice, the whole that sequence twice, the chorus sequence. Okay, so the chorus in its entirety is. And off into the second verse. Now then, slight difference here. I've listened to the version that I've got, which I think is the original version that the Clash did, and the second verse appears they seem to be playing the intro sequence rather than the, like the first verse was G to E minor to B minor to A minor to C minor. On the second verse, if you listen in the background, the guitar is actually playing, right, and I think they're playing the intro sequence behind the second verse. So it's the G to the E minor added 9, back to the G to A minor to C minor 4 times. Okay. So that's the second verse. Okay, that's what I think. So you play the intro, that's like we've just done, and then you play the first verse. The first verse is G, E minor to B minor to A minor to C minor 4 times. Then we do the intro, the chorus rather, which is this G to E minor to B minor to E minor to B minor to F, G to E minor to B minor to E minor to B minor to F. Then we go into the second verse straight away, and we play the intro sequence of chords. 4 times. twice, 3 times going up. Last time. And the chorus again. Now it goes back into the intro. C minor. And it goes into the third verse, which is the same sequence of chords as the first verse, which is this G, E minor to B minor to A minor to C minor. 4 times, okay, and then it just goes into the standard chorus several times and then just finishes on the chorus. Does that couple of choruses, and then it just goes into the intro and finishes. Okay, so just to recap, intro, first verse using G, E minor, B minor, A minor, C minor 4 times, then the chorus, which is the same all the time, G, E minor to B minor, E minor to B minor to F twice, G, E minor to B minor to E minor to B minor to F. Then it goes into the second verse, which is the same chord sequence as the intro, 4 times. Then it does a chorus, as before. Then it does the intro again. Then it does the third verse, which is the same sequence as the first verse. G, E minor to B minor, A minor to C minor, 4 times. Then it does 2 lots of choruses. And then it goes to the intro and finishes. I hope that makes sense. I mean, if you don't want to play that, the second verse, most people I think keep it the same as all the verses the same, but I listened to it and I thought, hang on a minute, that's not quite the same as the first verse. So it's up to you. You don't have to do different playing on different verses, but if you want to play it as the Clash, I think verse 2 is the same sequence as the intro. Okay. Not the first verse, okay, if you understand. Anyway, thanks very much. I won't bore you anymore with that, so I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for that. Bye for now.